Welcome to UC Trends 2020. The UC Today news team has traveled all the way here to Silicon Valley, which is home to some of the world's largest technology companies. What we're going to do is bring you a series of video interviews with executives from some of those businesses. What we want to understand is more about the trends that are impacting their organizations, but also bring you a bit of insight into the personality of the individual and the business. Zoom Video Communications launched on the NASDAQ earlier this year, making them one of the world's most valuable cloud companies. Their CEO and founder, Eric Yuan, has one of the most inspiring stories in technology. We caught up with him to understand more about Zoom's proposition going forward and also get some of his thoughts on the market. Eric, thanks so much for allowing us to visit the Zoom offices here in San Jose. Really appreciate you having us in.
Our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely no problem at all. You've got arguably the best, most inspiring industry story I think I've heard. So just for the viewers that might not know, can you give us a bit of a personal background of how you came, first of all, into video communications and collaboration and communications in general, and then how you came to found Zoom and be sitting here now?
Sure, absolutely. So I was born in China and I came to the Silicon Valley in 1997. I joined WebEx as one of the first several founding engineers, and I personally wrote the first several generations of WebEx code, and we were very lucky. We went public. WebEx went public year 2000, and then we sold the business to Cisco 2007. And after that, I stayed at Cisco for another 4.5 years as Cisco's corporate vice president, in charge of Cisco's overall collaboration software development. And the year before I left Cisco to start Zoom, so every time when I talk with a WebEx customer, guess what? I did not see a single happy WebEx customer. And I felt very embarrassed, and I really wanted to fix that problem. And unfortunately, Cisco was unwilling to change. So finally, I decided to leave Cisco WebEx to build a new solution, the next generation collaboration solution, a cloud video first architecture to bring happiness back to WebEx customers.
And since that's happened, the success of Zoom, I'm not quite sure if you knew how much it was going to be. The growth's been unbelievable. The launch on the stock exchange, the valuations through the roof. What do you attribute that to? What do you put that success down to? What do you think the secret ingredient was?
I think first of all, I don't think we're successful yet. We just started. The market opportunity is huge, right? I think you look at the total addressable market based on IDC estimates, $43 billion market. Look at our revenue. Literally, I think we just started. The reason why I think, you look at we just became a public company or market cap, I would say because of the customers, because our customers really trust us. And over the past several years, we built a better service, and we spend all the time talking with our customers. Our customers are very loyal, they trust us, and also our shareholders, a lot of shareholders are also our customers. And I guess maybe they like Zoom, they trust Zoom. I guess maybe that's part of the reasons.
And you've been adding additional features to the platform. Zoom Phone, which I know is also taking off. Do you think that's an important trend within the market, that you want to add additional features to try and offer customers as many great communication experiences as possible?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all those features are coming from our customers, meaning we look at all the customer feedback. We try to understand why they send us feedback to edit a voice. Or take a voice, for example, take a virtual background, for example. We listen to our customer very carefully. So when it comes to the voice capability, our customer told us they already use Zoom for the phone call, right? What's missing is just a phone number. The customer told us, what if you give us a phone number support, then we can standardize on Zoom platform. So we truly believe video is a new voice. Video is a future of communication. To add the voice capability, to add the PBX capability to Zoom, that's a natural step. Many of our customers, they told us they needed that capability. That's why we introduced that service early this year. So far the feedback is very positive.
One thing that I really want to try and get across to the viewers in this series is what it's like to work in a rapidly growing, innovative Silicon Valley technology company, and arguably there's no one better to speak to than you about that. We've come to your offices here. It's a really spectacular, fun office. What's it like on a day-to-day basis to come into work? What are the personalities like, and what's the culture that you want to get across to your staff?
I think first of all, I would say a lot of great companies in Silicon Valley, I think we all have a mission, right? Try to build something to make a huge positive impact to the world. Having said that, I would say number one thing, we all feel like when we come to the office, we feel excited. We feel like we are part of the big mission, to do something and to make sure we all feel proud. And internally, I think, when you come to the office, our goal is to make sure we can deliver happiness to each other. So the happy is very, very important, right? If employees, they are not happy, your customer will not be happy. So exciting and also happiness is very important for us. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to also understand, if you could, we were talking about football or soccer before we started recording the interview, and if we could go back and put together a highlights package of the last sort of 12 to 18 months from a Zoom perspective, what particular highlights would you want included in that list?
Oh, that's very straightforward. So back in April, we became a NASDAQ public company. I think that's a dream, coming true. And we flew to New York, right, to ring the bell, and NASDAQ is our customer. I brought my family there, our team also there. We celebrated one day. That's a very exciting moment. And looking back, that's one of the best moments in my life.
Well, you talked about when you realized there was a shortcoming at WebEx and what you wanted to accomplish with Zoom. Did you ever in your wildest dreams think, years down the line, you'd be at the NASDAQ for that sort of thing, or was that just unimaginable at the time?
To be honest with you, I did think about that. If you keep working hard, make sure customer happy, keep growing our business, someday we wanted to become a NASDAQ public company. That's indeed our dream when we started. So we just do not know when that dream will come true. And fortunately, this year that dream came true.
You're someone, and Zoom is a business that has capitalized really well on emerging trends, the rise in popularity of video-first communications that you were talking about before, and you got on that at exactly the perfect time. So I want to understand from you, what do you think the trends are going to be in the future that are going to impact how you approach new technologies and provision with Zoom?
First of all, you look at the workforce, look at the United States, more than one third of the workforce are millennials. When they enter into the workplace, they are not going to using the old-fashioned technology, right? That's why, the video adoption rate is accelerating, and not only in the US, across the world. And I really believe, video is the future of communication with artificial intelligence. And you just make the meeting very productive. Having said that, with a greater technology like Zoom, you do not need to get it together. You do not need to have a big physical office anymore, right? You can hire top talents all over the world, and they still can leverage the technology to leverage Zoom to get the job done, right? Like some companies, they are doing very well. Guess what? They do not have a single physical office. I truly believe the future is about video communication. You can work anywhere with any device, still can get the job done.
We're coming towards the end of 2019 now. So how do you see the marketplace in 2020? Do you see a continuation of the trends we've seen this year, or do you see any radical shift over the next sort of 12 months?
I don't think there will have any radical shift, but I do see there will have accelerated adoption of video communication, and artificial intelligence also will start playing a much bigger role in the video communication. Like we introduced the feature in meeting transcription, right? But down the road, how to make sure we generate a meaningful meeting summary, right, after the meeting, and also how to detect your face during the meeting time to give it a real-time feedback. Hey, please slow down. the participant side, they may not understand what you said, right? All those artificial intelligence features will make the meeting more productive.
Do you think that's the emerging technology that's going to impact your solutions most in terms of artificial intelligence or machine learning? Or because there's other areas as well, you hear people talk about the Internet of Things and sort of virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality. Do you think AI is going to be the one that's going to most impact Zoom?
Absolutely. So you look at the AI, AI, we talk about it for many years. I think finally as AI is something real, can really improve a lot of the product experience. Take our conference room, product, for example. We just announced the features. After the meeting is over, we know how many people joined from this conference room. And then we will let you know, hey, this is conference room is designed for 10 people, but every time only 2 people join, right? We can send you a feedback, right? Also, next step, we can detect when you walked into the conference room, it will tell you, hey, Eric just joined this conference room. Make sure other people can know that, right? Based on the face detection technology. I think all those cool AI technologies will make the meeting more productive.
And you were saying before, you think, and some of the stuff you're doing at Zoom, this is the first time artificial intelligence is really here.
Yep.
What do you think the potential is in the long run for the technology and how it can enhance platforms?
I think, let's say look at it 10 years or 15 years out, right? I think online video conferencing like Zoom can deliver a much better experience than face-to-face meeting like this. So today, no matter how good the Zoom collaboration experience is, we still cannot shake hands.
No.
Right? But in the future, we can. And meaning, so you sit in London, I'm sitting here in Silicon Valley. When we have a Zoom call, when I try to shake hands with you, you can feel like that. I give you a hug, you also can feel like that as well. And also after the meeting is over, the meeting summary will be automatically generated. And plus, if you are eating the pasta, also can enjoy the smell as well. I think that is going to change everything. Or plus, live language translation. You speak one language, I can understand, maybe see like you speak English, Japanese translation in real time, Chinese translation in real time. With that, we can connect everyone in the world in real time. I think that's the future.
Finally, Eric, if we could go forward in time, if we had a time machine and I could take you forward to New Year's Eve 2020,
yep,
and we could look back on 2020, what would you want to have seen to know that the year had been a success for Zoom? What do you want to see over that next year?
It's a great question. I would say 3 things. I look at my family, make sure my family members are my wife, my kids, my mom, they all feel very happy. And our employee, they all feel very happy. All of our customers, they all feel happy. That's pretty much so.
Well, Eric, it's a really admirable goal. But thank you so much for letting us come into the Zoom office and talking us through your plans.
My pleasure. Thank you.